All the class 10 students of St. Michael's Academy, welcome to another online physical science class. Today I am continuing the seventh part of current electricity. So let's start. First, I am explaining DC electric motor. What is DC motor? A DC motor consists of an stator, an armature, a rotor, and a commutator with brushes. Opposite polarity between the two magnetic fields inside the motor cause it to turn. DC motors are the simplest type of motor and are used in household appliances such as electric razors and in electric windows in cars. How does it works? DC motor Electric motors turn electricity into motion by exploiting electromagnetic induction. So main principle of DC electric motor is basically electromagnetic induction. The motor features a permanent horseshoe magnet called the stator because it's fixed in place, and an turning coil of wire called an armature or rotor because it rotates. Now see the diagram. First one, like your book, a diagrammatic structure has been given. So when electric current passes through a coil in a magnetic field, the magnetic force produces a torque which turns the DC motor. Torque means it's a type of force. Okay. So here magnetic force acts perpendicular to both wire and magnetic field. An electric current supplied externally through a commutator. See, the commutator is there in the previous diagram, and later on a second diagram, an original electric motor. Picture of an original electric motor has been given. Now I am explaining what is electric motor actually. Principle of an electric motor is similar to that of Barlow's wheel. Hope so you have remembered Barlow's wheel mechanism. Working of a direct current electric motor is shown in the figure. A rectangular coil or wire mounted on a spindle can rotate about a horizontal axis between two pole pieces of a U-shaped strong permanent magnet. The coil is called the armature and the magnet is the field magnet. The terminals of the armature are connected to the two halves of a copper split ring commutator. Two carbon brushes lightly touch the commutator by spring action. The brushes are connected to an electric cell or any other source of direct current. When current is passed through the armature coil, it will begin to rotate due to the action of the field magnet upon it. The direction of rotation of the armature could be determined with the help of Fleming's left-hand rule that has been explained in my previous slide. Electric motors are extensively used in electric fans, pumps, electric trains, trams, etc. What is electromagnetic induction and how does it work? Electromagnetic induction occurs whenever a magnetic field and an electric conductor move relative to one another. So the conductor crosses lines of force in the magnetic field. The current produced by electromagnetic induction is greater when the magnet or coil moves faster. The coil has more turns or the magnet is stronger. See the diagram. Conductor is there, magnet is there, and coil system that I have told. That also has been shown. So, it has been seen that magnetic field is produced when electric current is passed through a conductor. Faraday thought that the reverse, that is, production of electric current by a magnetic field, should also be possible. He performed a series of experiments to show this. Faraday connected a coil of wire to a center zero galvanometer. Now, the north pole of a bar magnet was pushed towards the coil. You see the diagram? I have given that particular diagram only. There was deflection in the galvanometer. Next, the north pole of the magnet was drawn away from the coil. There was deflection again in the galvanometer, but in opposite direction. But when the magnet was stationary, or if there be no relative motion between the coil and the magnet, there was no deflection in the galvanometer. The deflection of a galvanometer means current is flowing through it. So Faraday concluded that whenever there was relative motion of the coil and the magnet, electric current is produced in the coil. This electric current is called induced current. Further, a current flows through a coil only when potential difference or EMF is applied across it. This EMF is called induced EMF. Because from induced magnetism it is coming, actually related to induced magnetism. The phenomenon is known as electromagnetic induction. So the phenomenon of production of induced current in a closed circuit or coil due to the change in the magnetic field linked with it is called electromagnetic induction. First see in the picture. There is galvanometer and coil and magnets are there. This is according to Faraday's law of induction. So, Faraday's first law of electromagnetic induction states that whenever there is change in the magnetic flux linked with a coil and EMF is induced, which lasts as long as the change in magnetic flux linked with the coil lasts. And the second law, Faraday's second law of electromagnetic induction, states that the magnitude of induced EMF is equal to the rate of change of flux linkages with the coil. These are laws, so please don't try to write it in another way. You have to write these sentences only in the exam. So on the basis of the previous experiments, Faraday stated these laws of electromagnetic induction in terms of magnetic flux linked with the coil. That is total number of magnetic lines of force of the magnet passing through the coil. This is the basis of these Faraday's laws. Now, Len's law. Len's law states that the direction of an induced EMF will be such that if it were to cause a current to flow in a conductor in an external circuit, then that current would generate a field that would oppose the change that created it. See the Len's law diagram. Magnet is moving towards the coil and it's deciding the direction. So Len's law gives the direction of the induced EMF or induced current. Len's law is based on the law of conservation of energy. It shows that the mechanical energy spent in doing work against the opposing force experienced by the moving magnet is transformed into the electrical energy, which is the cause of flow current in the coil. Now, DC and AC current definition. In direct current or DC, the electric charge or current only flows in one direction. Electric charge in alternating current or AC, on the other hand, changes direction periodically. The voltage in AC circuits also periodically reverses because the current changes its direction. Examples: current produced by generators or turbine are AC currents, and the current we get from our home power sockets are AC current. Mostly electrical appliances like fan, bulb, AC motors are works on AC current. Current produced by solar panel, DC dynamo, DC motor are DC currents. Now see the diagram please. Here direct current or DC, you will give the arrow in one direction only. But in case of alternating current or AC, after drawing the circuit, you will give the arrow in the both direction. Actually, in AC current, voltage is required. See, there is one circle-like structure, and within this one question mark, that is actually voltage, determining the voltage. Now, there are some advantages and disadvantages also of AC over DC. What are those? First, I am explaining the advantages. The major advantage that AC electricity has over DC electricity is that AC voltages can be readily transformed to higher or lower voltage levels, while it is difficult to do that with DC voltages. Since high voltages are more efficient for sending electricity great distances, AC electricity has an advantage over DC. Now see the diagram, advantages of AC current over DC current. Here are some points. First, the AC is easy to generate than a DC. Next, the AC generators are highly efficient. Third one, AC is much cheaper than the DC. Fourth one, the value of AC is easy to transform by using transformers to step up or down also. And the last one, in AC, there is energy loss during transmission and can easily convert into DC. So you can say that advantages of AC over DC, according to your book, the cost of generation of AC is less than that of DC. AC can be easily converted into DC using rectifier. AC can be controlled without much loss of electric power compared to DC. AC can be transmitted to distant places with little loss of electric power compared to DC. Now, what are the disadvantages? Yes, some disadvantages are also there over DC. Peak value of AC is high and it is dangerous to use, so better insulation is required. It attracts person who touches it, unlike DC, which gives a repelling shock. And AC is transmitted from surface of the conductor and hence need several strands of thin wires insulated from each other. AC is more dangerous than DC, and AC cannot be used in electrolysis, but DC can be used. Thank you students. For any doubts or queries, please email me at sudeshnaban.sma@outlook.com. One more thing, I'm just giving you suggestion. After completing my syllabus, I will discuss some important questions, obviously, from test papers and from your book also. But before that, the chapters that you have completed already, try to do the question answers from test papers.